Breezy 101, thanks for joining us here on your radio waves, and thanks for joining us here in the studio. And I've been excited about this, but I'm always excited about coaches coming in. It's a new football coach, Casey Orr. Coach, thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach, so before we get to anything, let's kind of introduce you to the community here. Tell us a little bit about your background in coaching, where you've been, where you came from.
Well, I played high school football, graduated from Ackerman, no longer a school. It's now Choctaw County High School, but I graduated from there in 2004 and went on and actually played college baseball in Tuscaloosa at Stillman College, Division II school there. I always had a great love for football, but when I graduated from high school, I was about 5'9" and 155 pounds. So the offers weren't there for football. I had a chance to go play baseball, so did that for 4 years, really enjoyed it. And when I left there, graduated from Mississippi State. Took my first job at Starkville Academy working as an assistant coach, football-wise, with Jeff Terrell there, and really enjoyed my time there. And as a guy, a public school guy coming out, an academy job really wasn't what I was looking for, but it was quite the blessing to be able to learn and work under Coach Terrell for those 2 or 3 years, and was really big for me moving forward. And from there, I went to Noxapater as the defensive coordinator. Was that for 2 years before I became the head coach. Was the head coach at Noxapater for 6 years, and had a lot of good memories there, a lot of success and a lot of fun. And when this job came open, it was a job that really interests me. I'm not a guy that's just about me. I'm a family guy. Family comes first. Always been really important to me, and staying close to home and staying around my parents is always big. And Kosciuszko kept me being able to do that. So that was one of the things that attracted me to it. And then, of course, the rich tradition and the love for football in this community. That's what makes high school football so great, is the communities and the way they back it and support it, and that's what makes Friday night fun. And that was one of the big things that attracted me to this job, and was successful or lucky enough to get this job, and really excited about getting started here.
Yeah, and you say Coach Terrell, you work with him. He's a former coach here in Kosciuszko. Did you talk to him about the job or anything like that?
I did, and he was very excited about me being interested in it. But I tell you what, that's a guy that still to this day thinks the world of Kosciuszko and loves Kosciuszko football, and was a big part of me being able to get this job, and really getting my interest up about this job.
Yeah, and you come from Noxapater, Winston County, just over there. Just a little ways down the road. Good football over there between Louisville and you, Noxapater, and Anawaya the past few years. Y'all been sort of the cream of the crop there in 1A.
We have been, and it's crazy. You get two schools that are separated by about 8 miles to both be as good as what they are, and it makes that rivalry very fun when the fact that most of the kids are related, they're cousins, and it's just a fun football atmosphere in that county. But Kosciuszko's got its own tradition here, and really excited about trying to further that.
And speaking of your time at Noxapater, you're bringing some new coaches with you. What are some new faces and some new names that Whippet fans can expect to hear?
Yes, sir. I was able to bring 3 coaches with me from Noxapater. It was, as a staff, we've been together for 2 years, and in that time we've averaged 11 wins each year. And I think it was Lou Holt said you're only as good as your staff, and he's exactly right. And I wanted to try my best to get these guys here, but I'm bringing with me my offensive coordinator, Wiley Rhodes. He was at Starkville for a time, and was also at J.Z. George for a time before he came to Noxapater, and was my OC there for 2 years, but he's coming with me. Also, Kurt Penix is going to be my D-line coach. He was at Center Hill before coming to Noxapater. He is originally from Sturgis. He's coming over with me. And then my defensive coordinator, Jonathan Cates, he has been at Morton and New Hope as well before coming to Noxapater. But those are 3 guys that we're going to be very fortunate to have, and I think that the community of Kosciuszko will really like having around, and I know our kids will. Great role models, great guys, and the kind of guys that you want your kids to be around and be coached by.
Speaking with Casey Orr, head coach, Kosciuszko Whippet football. They're trying to get ready to get going, Coach. You got this coronavirus going on. Got some good news last week with the MHSAA giving you some start dates. So when you finally can get together and start working, what are some things y'all are going to be working on, and how's it going to look?
Well, one of the biggest things as a new coach coming in is you want to establish your standard. I know everybody says it's kind of the same thing as far as standard in the culture talk, but each coach's standard is a little different, and that's something that we're wanting to create, is a standard that these guys know every day that they come to work, they come to practice, and they come to school, there's a certain standard that they're expected to live up to. There's a way that we expect them to walk, carry themselves, and lead, and not only on the practice field, but on the game field, but also in the classroom and around school and around the community. And that's one of the biggest things, establishing that standard. And I think that starts in the weight room. And that's one of the things that I'm really excited about getting going. And I'm glad the MHSA opened up, is us being able to get our kids back into our facilities and our complexes and get these guys in the weight room and get to work with these guys and kind of get them back in shape. I know everybody's had a couple months off, and that's going to be a big deal, is getting these guys back into playing shape before August rolls around, but also getting them acclimated to what we expect or how we expect things to be done every day.
Yeah, and one thing, you didn't get to go through the spring here with the spring football because of coronavirus. So how does that affect what you're going to do in the fall? When we can talk a little about your offense. Kosciuszko kind of ran the option last year, some spread offense, but when you're trying to install something like that, how's that going to affect moving forward?
Well, this is going to sound a little bit redundant, but I've had this conversation with a couple people. I feel like missing spring hurt us more in establishing what the guys are to expect from me and this new coaching staff. I feel like through the summer we can get our playbook installed offensively and defensively. What I really missed out on the spring months was being in the weight room and then establishing the relationship with these guys, knowing, building that trust with the guys, knowing that they can trust me and knowing that I'm going to have their back no matter what happens was the biggest disappointment for me. That's lost time, the time that we won't get back. And it's going to be very important through these summer months is getting that established. And then once football gets here and practice gets rolling, we feel very confident about getting our stuff established and getting it installed and ready to rock and roll come that first game.
Well, one more thing here, Coach, and we'll just ask, what can Whippet fans expect from the team this fall? I mean, not necessarily results-wise, but just, something that the fans can look forward to.
Well, I think one thing that we're going to make sure that we do every night is you're going to see a team play hard. You're going to see a team play physical and play fast. That's talk about with you guys now, effort's a choice. We all didn't get to pick what our talent level was. As I alluded to earlier, I wouldn't have chosen to be 5'8", 155 pounds when I graduated from high school if I had that choice. But we do choose our level of effort. And I think when you come to the games on Friday night, you're going to see a team play with a relentless effort that flies around and gets after it. Whatever the outcome is at the end of the day, I feel like as supporters of our football team that you're going to be proud of the effort the kids play with and the product that was put on the field. Now, I'm not going to sit here and guarantee a win every night, but I think that you're going to be able to come support a football team that you're going to be proud of the way they played and got after it and competed.
That's head football coach Casey Orr getting ready for his first season at the helm of the Kosciuszko Whippets. We're glad to have him on with us and sort of introduce him to you. Of course, throughout the season we'll have him on the show and you get to learn about him a little bit more. But, Coach, thanks for coming on with us, and, hey, we look forward to football hopefully soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me.